Hello learners, we are in the class of knowledge organization classification practice. Today we shall discuss common schedules for time isolates, space isolate and language isolates in the unit Introduction to Colon Classification 6th edition. The schedule of each main class in colon classification holds the isolates of the fundamental categories personality, matter and energy as applicable. The isolates for the categories time and space are recurring in nature and may be added to the last round of the fundamental categories in any main. Therefore, they are separately enumerated in separate chapters. Same reason is also applicable to enumerate language isolate in a separate chapter. Thus, in colon classification 6th edition, there are 3 common schedules for time isolates, space isolates and language isolates respectively. In this class, we are going to discuss about time, space and language schedules in the colon classification 6th edition. The explanation of the rules for using time, space and language isolates in constructing class numbers and used as devices for constructing and sharpening isolates will be discussed thoroughly, supported with ample number of examples. So, after going through this class, you will learn about the concept, significance and application of time isolates, space isolates and language isolates as prescribed in colon classification 6th edition 1963 reprint version. Now we discuss time isolates. The time isolates with their notations are given in chapter 3 of part 2 of colon classification 6th edition. The corresponding rules are provided in chapter 3 in part 1. These isolates occur in 2 levels. Level 1 designated as T1 as the chronological time period and level 2 that is T2 is the featured time. Now what are the first level of time isolates? The first level of time isolates T1 is denoted by Roman capitals following the Indo-Arabic digits. The first digit A stands for geological time. Digits from B to YC represent any particular year or a span of time falling between 9999 before Christ era to 3199 Anno Domini year. T1 or level 1 time facet in CC measures time only up to a particular year. Notation for month or particular day cannot be built by colon classification 6th edition. Here we present the notation denoting different centuries or different period of time. Here we can see capital A denotes the time era before 9999 before Christ and then A1 to A5 shows different geological times. Capital Roman B denote 9999 to 1000 before Christ and then C denotes 999 to 1 before Christ year and D denotes the year from 1 to 999 AD. Next, E to YC denotes different centuries of the Anno Domini period. Next, let us move on to AD time era according to how their notations are constructed according to colon classification. The notation of a year is represented by 3 digits. The first digit, the alphabetical letter, represents the century. The first numerical digit or the second digit in general denote the decades, and the last digit of the year in particular. For example, N47 denotes the year 1947, where N signifies the span from 900 to 999. 4 signifies the decade of 40s, as in here the span from 1940 to 1949. Then 7 signifies the particular year, as in here the particular year 1947. The first millennium AD is denoted by the notation D. Any year belonging to this time span is indicated by 4 digits in total. One alphabet, that is capital D, and 3 numerical digits. The first digit D denotes the millennium, the second digit the century, and the third digit the decade, and the fourth digit denotes the specific year. As for example, we can see in the first millennium AD, that is in the year 212, it will be indicated as D212, or the year 5 AD is denoted by D005. Here D signifies or indicates the first millennium, then the particular year, as we do know it is in the first century, first decade, so within the period 0 to 1, so first the century digit is 0, decade digit is 0, and the particular year is 5, and 5 AD is denoted by D005, that include 4 digits. Again 10 AD is denoted similarly as D010. Now, how we assign BC time era according to colon classification? Dr. Ranganathan devised a method called the method of complements for the notation for the BC time era. This method is applied to arrange books in the increasing chronological order. It is worked out by subtracting the year to be denoted from the higher numerical limit, that is actually the lowest point, denoted by digit of the time span or era. As for example, we know capital B denotes 9999 to 1000 BC era. Capital C denotes 999 to 1 before Christ era, and as for example, we know capital B denotes 9999 to 1000 before Christ era, and C denotes 999 to 1 before Christ era. To denote 1200 before Christ era, the period of 1200 BC is covered by the span represented by digit B. The highest limit, actually the lowest in the reverse process, represented by B is 9999 BC. So to denote the year 1200 BC, it must be subtracted from 9999. Thus, 1200 BC is denoted as B8799. Similarly, 5000 BC is denoted as B4999, or 6000 BC is denoted as B3999. Here we show more other examples. Now in time isolates, we next discuss what is effective decade. Ranganathan termed a time span of 2 decades as an effective decade. He postulated that first and second, third and fourth, fifth and sixth, seventh and eighth, and ninth and 10th decades are respectively denoted by the digit 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9 as the effective decade numbers. Here we present a table on the use of effective decade. The effective decade for the year 1981 will be N9. The effective decade for the year 1995 is also N9. Sometimes we need the span only, not the exact year. We use effective decade in such cases. So, if the actual decade digits are 0 or 1, the span of years of the century will be the year 0 to year 19, and the effective decade digit will be 1. And if the actual decade digits are 2 or 3, and the span of years from the 20th year to 39th year, effective decade digit will be 3. Thus, if the actual decade digit is 4th decade or 5th decade, that span from 40th year to 59th year of any century, then effective decade digit will be 5. And if the actual decade digit are 8 or 9, that is the span of the years, that covers 20 years, 80 to 99, for that the effective decade digit will be notified by 9. Now, after we have discussed the first level of time isolate so far. Now we discuss the second level time isolates. Second level time isolates, that is T2, stands for featured times such as the seasonal, meteorological or diurnal times. The indicator digit for T2 is the same as that of T1, that is apostrophe. The notations for T2 as enumerated in colon classification 6th edition 1963 reprint are presented here. Here all the small letters and maybe along with numerals are used to denote the seasonal or meteorological or diurnal times in the second level of time isolates. So, small c denote daytime, small d denote night, or in seasonal time N1 indicates spring, N3 indicate summer, P1 indicate dry time, P indicates meteorological period, in that P1 indicates dry period, or P2 indicates wet period, or P8 indicates snowy period, etc. As for example, we can present here the humidity in monsoon of 2015. Here 2015 is a level 1 time isolate, and monsoon comes under the table 2 time isolate. So the main class comes under notation for geography is U, capital U, and for humidity is U 285. Then for 2015, we have seen that the century 2000 to 2099 is denoted by capital P, and for particular decade or year shown as 15, 1 for decade and the 5 for the particular year. And the monsoon, here the meteorological period shown as P5. Therefore, the class number will be U285 apostrophe P15 apostrophe P5, small p5. Similar other examples are cow feeding in winter, human migration in snow times. Here, winter or snow times are denoted by second level time isolates, and here first level time isolates are absent. Here we work out an example. Agriculture in the Narmada Valley during rainy season in 1980s, that is the 1980s decade of 1980. So the main class agriculture denoted by capital J, then space India, and level 2 space isolate. Here we are now going to discuss the level 2 of space, level 1, level 2 of space isolate is here valley G1, then individualization by alphabetical device, that is capital N for Narmada, and the decade is denoted by 8, and rainy season is the time isolate in level 2. So it is denoted by rainy season or monsoon is P2 in the meteorological time span. And therefore the class number will be J44 J dot 44 dot G1 dot N, then apostrophe N8 and apostrophe small p2. Now we move on to space isolate. The space isolate and the numbers representing the space isolates are given in chapter 4 of the schedule, that is in the part 2 of colon classification, 6th edition. Space isolates occur in two levels, level 1 as denoted by S1 and level 2 as denoted by S2. But we omit one in for denoting the first round or first level of any isolate, and we denote the second level or second round isolates as applicable with the prefix or suffix 2. Similarly, for if the third level comes, then we indicate by S3, or similarly in any other cases, but for the first level we omit 1. Isolates in space level 1 are denoted by numerical digits, but in space level 2 isolates are denoted by small alphabets and numerical digits. We refer to chapter 4 of both part 1 and part 2, and also we have to check in annexure if there is any revision in the 1963 reprint version of the 6th edition of colon classification. The schedule for space isolate admits 4 blocks as physiological features, political divisions, population clusters, and orientation divisions. For this, we refer to the corresponding part of the annexure. These 4 blocks can be put in the form of a single telescope schedule. The space schedule for India provides 2 different sets of isolate with their notations, namely as before 1956 and after 1956. It would be better to use a schedule from after 1956. First level of space isolate. We here discuss first level of space isolate. 1 denotes the world, 1, then in 1 we get the notation for empire, that is to be divided by geographical device, notation by zone denoted by 1 9, and again notation for the orientation, that is denoted by 1 9 and alphabetically. 1A denotes near sovereign formation, which are to be divided by the chronological device, in general the year of establishment of such near sovereign formation. Then the notation 2 denotes mother country, 3 denotes favored country, and from 4 to 8 countries in different continents are denoted, such as by 4 we denote Asia in colon classification, by 5 is denoted Europe, then Africa is denoted by 6, America is denoted by 7, and 8 denotes Australia. And the digit 9 and its subdivision denotes the islands and the oceans.
Now, the first level of space isolates. The digit 1 stands for the world as a whole. It is further divided by empires zones and orientations. Superimposition device using the space isolates is employed to construct an empire having colonies in different scattered areas of the world. The dominated areas come first, the ruling country and the dominating nation, as for example, British colonies in the world 1-56. Here, the areas are scattered in different parts of the earth. So the notation of the world, that is 1, has been taken in general, and 5-6 is the notation for Great Britain. The rule of superimposition device has also been implied for a specific empire or ruling by a country in other areas. Say for example, for British India, the notation will be 44-56. Here 44 indicates the notation for India, and again 56 is the notation for Great Britain, and it is a superimposed isolate. The digit 2 stands for the mother country. It has been considered with a view that a library may cover more extensive collections of books or documents pertaining to its country. The digit 3 in space isolates stands for the favored country. The term favored indicates the country about which the library has much larger collection. The digit 4 to 8 represent various continents which have further been subdivided into countries, and the last digit 9 represents the various islands and the oceans. Here we present some examples. First level division of the different continents is political, then by zone, then by orientation or directional, and by population administrative units. Apart from these enumerated isolates, many more can be constructed by subject device, chronological device, and superimposition device. Here we show how subject device is used to represent areas of the world having common characteristics. So for example, agricultural countries, or the notation of English speaking countries. The notation for English speaking countries can be denoted by the notation 1 and P111. Here P is the main class linguistics and P111 denotes the language. So the English speaking countries in the world will be denoted by the subject device 1 P111. Here we present more such, say for example, rice growing states of India 44. Then by subject device we get rice from the main class J agriculture as J381. So the rice growing states of India will be 44 J381. Here India is 44, rice J381, rice growing states of India 44 J381. Here we show more such examples. Superimposition device and subject device may also be used in succession. Here you can see the example British India 44-56 and rice J381. So by first by superimposition device 4456 hyphenated and J381 with subject device, we get rice growing states in British India. Chronological device as employed to get isolate number for near sovereign international organizations. Say for example, League of Nations, that is founded in 1920, and here League of Nations is worldwide, so 1N Here N indicate the century number 900 to 999. We can use here the century number for the brevity. Similarly, United Nations as founded in 1945 is denoted by 1 in 4. No other such near sovereign organization was established. The isolate number of population clusters such as city, village, if not enumerated, is obtained by alphabetical device. A dot is also required as the indicator digit for space. As you know, the notation for West Bengal is 4475. The notation for Kolkata will be 4475.k by alphabetical device. And here also to be mentioned that as Kolkata is a metropolitan city in India, we can also use 44.K for Kolkata. Any geographical area may further be subdivided by orientation as the division of one world by orientation divisions given from 19A to 19Y. It means that an orientation division is attached to any area with dot omitting one. As for example, we see East Europe is denoted by 5.9b as the Europe is denoted by 5 and 9b is denoted and 9b denotes East. So East Europe will be denoted by 5.9b and North Bengal then 4475 West Bengal dot 9s. Second level space isolates. The second level space isolates S2 representing physiological features of the Earth comes after the first level of space. The indicator digit for second level of space isolate is also the dot. These isolates with the notations given in page 2.17, but these are amended in the annexure part of the CC 6th edition. Here are the second level space isolate. As for example, rainfall in forest. Rainfall comes from the main class U geography. It is U 2855 and forest second level of geographical second level of space isolate is denoted by small f. So rainfall in forest will be U 2855 dot small f. Second level space isolate may also be sharpened by alphabetical device in case of specially named physical features. But here, first level space isolate should be as broad as possible. Such as here we can see in the example, travels in Himalayan mountains, travel U8. Here Asia is denoted by 4 and Himalayan mountain is arranged in the continent Asia. Therefore, the class number is U8, then space Asia 4.4 G7 for mountains, and then alphabetical device brings H for Himalayan. Here again, we present another example for space isolate, as in we see India here the space isolate. Another example is here as the isolates from this schedule may also be used as the geographical device to form personality facet of other main classes, such as in NZ to NR, that is in the fine arts, in V history or Z law. Now we discuss space as personality. Other than the above uses of space isolates, these isolates may become personality isolates in canonical classes of fine arts N, that is NZ to NR, or V history or in Z law, and also in the common isolates. Whenever a space isolate is used in the personality facet, its indicator digit must be changed from dot to comma. As we know, the indicator digit for personality facet is comma. Here we see the Germany is a space facet, but here in the main class we use Germany as the geographical device to form and sharpen personality facet. So, history of Germany, the notation will be V55. Next, the language isolates. The language isolates and the numbers representing them are given in chapter 5 of part 2 in colon classification 6th edition, and corresponding rules are provided in chapter 5 of part 1. Language isolates form the personality facet of O literature class and P linguistics class. Many families of languages have not, some major families of languages have been enumerated in isolate numbers 1 to 3 in detail for major languages. But the enumerations for languages which are less known are not made comprehensive. The outline of the schedule for language isolates as it is given, as 1 denotes Indo-European languages, 2 denotes Semitic languages, 3 denotes Dravidian languages, and 4 to 9 is are used for other languages, and that is to be got by using geographical device. And 9 9 and its subdivisions are used as artificial languages, that is to be formed by chronological device. The language comprised of the classes 4 to 9 which enumerate should be, if a language definitely belongs to any family denoted by 1, 2 or 3 or their subdivisions but not enumerated there, then it may be obtained by adding 9 to the approximate language broader class number, and it should be further divided by the geographical device. As for example, Romanian language has not been enumerated in the schedule. It belongs to the subfamily of Latin languages. Thus, the isolate number may be got by 1 to, that is the notation for Latin languages, then 9, then area numbers of Romania. So, we can get the Romanian language as 1 to 9, and the area number for Romania is 5921. So, the Romanian language is 1295921.
Languages of which the broader language group is not known may be got by geographical device, as we have already discussed for the language notation 4 to 8, such as for the notation for Japanese language will be 4 to, that is also the notation for the space for Japan. In this way, Australian language will be constructed by Australian language will be 8, and as for example Burmese language, it belongs to Sino-Tibetan language family. Since this family has not been enumerated, it is to be got by geographical device 438. Next, quite a good number of isolates for artificial languages have been enumerated, others may be got by chronological device. We know in the notation 9 9, we have the notation for artificial language. If not enumerated in the schedule, we had to get those by applying chronological device, such as we can form the international picture language, the notation for it will be 99th N3, as it was formed in 1931 first. So, by chronological device, it can be formed. Here, we show one example as the language isolates are used in the personality facet of main class O literature and P linguistics. Here, the example shows the word poetry. So, it is English language literature. So, the personality facet, language facet will be got by the language isolate and its number. For English language it will be 111. Thus, in this class we have discussed the rules and principles of using time, space and language isolates and their notations as explained in chapter 3, 4 and 5 of part 1 and part 2 of colon classification 6th edition. The revisions of some specific rules for using these common schedules are required to consult in the annexure part. The time and space isolate may be used with any subject or may also be used as geographical device and chronological device to form and sharpen personality facet. The common schedule for language is used to form the isolates of personality facet for the main class, literature and linguistics, and in some cases of generally a bibliographic. Therefore, it is essential to know the rules for using these common schedules which we have discussed in this class. Thank you.